The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, May 21st. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, the Savage One, Mr. Tony Spark. Tony, how you doing this morning?
Hey, a little on the tired side. It's the end of the week, but otherwise doing pretty good, buddy. How are you doing this morning?
Good. I'm tired as well. Had to pick up Jesse from the airport at 11:15. Didn't
Hey,
get
Jesse!
home until midnight. Finally got settled down by 1:30. Finally probably fell asleep by 2. Up again at 6. So I didn't get a whole lot of sleep.
Yeah.
Kind of tired, but luckily the weekend is right around the corner, so I can get caught up on that sleep a little bit.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's at least you got the two in a row coming up, man.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Well, folks, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, coming out of a store, maybe the movie theater, somewhere out in public, have you ever accidentally walked up to the wrong car thinking it was yours, trying to get in and just can't figure out, I'm pretty sure this is my car. Why isn't it working?
Yeah, I did that. Did that a couple weeks ago at a Walmart. I walked up to this blue SUV. I was looking, I don't know what I was doing, spacing off, and I walked up to it. I hit the thing. I heard it go off. Well, I parked on the other side of it, but I walked up to the first blue one that my brain saw. And I'm like sitting there, like, why is it working? And then I look and I'm like, oh boy, do I feel stupid. Like, this is in my car. And then, luckily there was nobody inside that car because they would have looked at me weird, but I was like a car over. But yeah, it's happened.
Yeah, and I think it's happened to just about everybody. We've got our white Mitsubishi that I can't.
Mitsubishi!
How many times I've been sitting in the car waiting for, Jessie to come out of a store, and she comes out and I see her in the mirror and she walks right past it looking for the car. And I have to open the window or, flag her down, be like, I'm over here. But all that goes to say that 4 members of a Texas family have been charged with murder after being accused of
that took a hard left. Wow.
After being accused of ambushing a neighbor in what authorities said was a case of mistaken identity. Eddie Clark, 29, was shot late Monday as he drove to his Houston area home in northwest Harris County. The Harris County Sheriff's Office alleged that Clark was shot by Joe Argueta, who lives in the same subdivision. His mother, Florinda Argueta, 39, told investigators someone had been damaging their home and vehicles and that they suspected a teenage friend of her son's ex-girlfriend was responsible, according to the sheriff's office. She said the suspect might be driving a black Dodge Charger. About 11:30 p.m. Monday, Joe Argueta, 19, and his family spotted what they thought was the suspected vehicle and tried to block its path, with one family member armed with a bat and another with a pistol. The sheriff's office alleges Joe Argueta fired at the vehicle after it tried to drive away. The vehicle, which was shot multiple times, went off the road and hit a tree. Clark tried to flee on foot, but later collapsed. He was transported to a local hospital where he died. The sheriff's office said Clark had been driving a dark gray Dodge Challenger rather than a black Dodge Charger, and investigators don't believe he was involved in the dispute with the Argueta family. Seems like a tragic case of mistaken identity, Sheriff Ed Gonzalez tweeted on Monday. Authorities charged Joe Argueta, his mother, his 45-year-old father, Luis Argueta, and his 29-year-old uncle, Margarito Alcantar, with murder. Joe Argueta and his mother were in custody Wednesday. The other two had not yet been arrested. So, if you're going to hunt somebody down and potentially kill them or try to scare them, make sure you've got not only the right color of vehicle, but the right make of vehicle and the right person in the vehicle. Needless to say, don't do it altogether.
No, I know. What did they think was going to happen? Whether, it sucks that it was somebody that was just an innocent, mistaken identity, but this was going to happen to these idiots regardless, whether they took out their acquired person or they didn't. It's just dumb. I just don't, I can't fathom. My brain doesn't work that way, but
Right.
Like yours and most people, you don't think I'm going to plot a murder today.
Well, that's the thing, even if they had gotten to their intended target, what did they expect was going to happen? Oh, it was a case of self-defense because they were harassing me? No, that's premeditated murder.
Yeah.
You're
They
all
shook their
criminals.
fist at me on the road and cut me off. I'm gonna come back and take them out.
Yeah. People are ridiculous. But
They're
at the same
ridiculous.
time,
They get a. Oh my
yeah.
God.
And it's sad that, somebody who just happened to be driving a similar car to what they thought the other person was driving ended up losing his life over it.
It's nuts. I thought it was just gonna be today's was gonna be some wacky weird one, but that was a little vicious one. But it's a good setup for the next segment, so it's all right.
Exactly.
You kind of bring it down, just to bring it back up. I get you. I see.
That's what we like to do here on the show.
What you doing?
Speaking of which, today's Friday. We've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
We're looking forward to the weekend, but not before we bring you guys good news, everyone. We've got a revisit of a segment that I love called Strange But True, and we round out the day with This Day in History. Folks, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Behold, my precious. Ooh, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude! Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box. Woohoo! Yee-hoo! Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIXmedia.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. And we've got a little thing we talk about each show. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys, the listeners and watchers, an opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you accidentally took out vengeance on the wrong car. We want to hear about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show.
And that's your Fenix line, right?
That's the Fenix line. I figure you were setting something up there.
Yeah, I've been wanting to use that soundbite. I've had it sitting there for a while. Hey, I just happened to look, and it was accessible. It was at the right time, so there you go.
Well, being that it's Friday, and with this segment, we always like to turn the tables on all of the bad news, the hate, the vitriol, the divisiveness that's out there that we're bombarded with across social media and media in general. Again, we turn those tables with a segment I like to call
Good News, everyone.
All right, this first one, the Texas couple behind the popular cookie delivery service Tiff's Treats want to mark their 22nd anniversary of being in business by celebrating their very first paying customer. But first, they had to track her down. On January 4th, owners Leon and Tiffany Chen, who launched their business while students at the University of Texas in Austin after Leon was wowed over a batch of his then-girlfriend Tiffany had baked to make up for standing him up on a date, tasked their social media followers with helping them identify and find the fellow UT student who ordered their cookies for her boyfriend back in 1999. The couple had plastered their campus with flyers advertising hot, fresh cookies delivered right to your door, but it took about 3 days for an actual order to come in. Though the Chens say the first order was the motivation they needed to get their cookie deliveries off the ground, they remembered scant details about the woman in question. Just an outdated dorm room address, a hair color, blonde, and a name, Amy. It wasn't much to go on, but their plea soon went viral, prompting dozens of leads to be sent their way. On Monday, 3 weeks after their search started, the couple announced that, lo and behold, they'd found the Amy in question despite her living overseas. Speaking to Yahoo Life, the Chens, who married in 2010 and have 6-year-old twins, not six twins.
Six twins? Jeez Louise, that would be a lot.
That would be. Shared their surprise at the supportive, widespread response their Amy hunt received. We literally thought it would be one post and that was it, Leon said. We thought maybe there's a 50-50 shot someone would come forward and say that they knew Amy or that they were Amy. There's something about right now where people need something that isn't scary, isn't anxious, isn't divisive, and it really did come at the right time for people, he added. For some reason, people latched onto this, and we just got a flood of calls, emails, and messages, more than we ever expected. While plenty of cookie fans were happy to play detective, some leads didn't quite pan out, until they heard from a woman who suspected that Amy might be the sister of her best friend, a former UT student who had lived in that particular dorm during that time period. Because that woman now lives in Europe, it took a while for the Chens to make contact with her directly, receive photos, and confirm that, yes, she is the Amy they've been seeking. Out of consideration for Amy, who they said had been such a good sport regarding the unexpected media storm that's landed at her feet, the Chens aren't sharing many details about her private life. When they will disclose, or what they will disclose, is that she's now a married mom of two living overseas because her husband is in the Green Berets. Ooh, He's a badass. The
There he
husband,
is.
incidentally, is not the boyfriend college-aged Amy treated to the cookie order all those years ago. She did not stay with that boyfriend, Tiffany confirmed, noting that many of the people following the Amy search had wondered about the status of that relationship. She says she remembered him not sharing the cookies, Leon added with a laugh. Though her full identity remains a secret, Amy did share a current photo and record a voice message, including in the Tiff's Treats post announcing her discovery, recounting her cookie buying experience. I saw this really sweet flyer and it spoke to me as just being very genuine, Amy recalled. And I called, and little did I know I was ordering cookies from Tiffany and Leon, and it was their first order. And I'm really proud of them, their hard work and their entrepreneurship. I did not know that my order inspired them in any way to keep going. I wish them all the best of luck. She and the Chens also stressed the importance of being kind, explaining that you never know what impact you might have on another human. In the case of Tiff's Treats, it's motivating the Chens to build their extracurricular cookie delivery service, a novelty in the days before Uber Eats and DoorDash, into a successful chain with more than 60 locations across Texas and in cities including Nashville, Atlanta, and Charlotte. This is just one order and one interaction, but it was so meaningful to us, Tiffany says in the video message to followers. One last act of kindness. Though the Chens had offered Amy a year's worth of free cookies as a thank you, she decided to pass that on to a local nonprofit, Foster Angels of Central Texas, which works to meet the needs of children living in foster care. All around good story. It's entrepreneurs who are looking to celebrate, their 22nd anniversary. And it ended up with, kids in the foster care system getting a year's supply of cookies. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? Well,
yeah, that's
your family.
Well, yeah, you could ask for that, but I mean, what a sweet, pun intended, treat there. They get the cookies. It's always a good thing.
Exactly.
Tiff's Treats Cookies.
I'll post this on our Facebook page so you guys can read. You can see the pictures, but a very sweet story, and that's why it's by.
Good news, everyone.
At the age of 60, Chen Li. Not Chun-Li, but Chen Li.
Not related to the Chens that I was just talking about either.
No. I had a choice of this or another story, and the other story was cute, but it was very, very short. It was very bite-sized. So I was like, this has got a little more substance to it. But at age 60, Chen Li suffered a stroke, which arrived without invitation or permission. But the temporary paralysis of her entire right side gave her an opportunity to blossom on her left side. As a part of her recovery, she had to relearn how to do everything from brushing her teeth, using a fork, a pen with her left hand, resulting in much frustration. One day, in a fit of boredom, and for the first time in her life, she picked up one of her grandchild's paintbrushes and just started putting color on the canvas. Happiness dawned on Chen as she suddenly could paint. Lovely natural scenery despite never having painted or practiced a day in her life. I've never picked up the paintbrush before, Chen told the network. I had nothing else to do, so I just picked up the paintbrush and I just tried to put color on paper. After her 2017 stroke, Chen completed in inpatient therapy in Texas before moving to New York to enroll in experimental robotic-assisted therapy program by Feinstein Institutes for Medical Research on Long Island in late 2018. The robotic arm essentially allowed Chen to complete her far more repetitions in physical therapy than would be possible without it, allowing her to regain movement faster. Every time we recovered something during rehab, we would tell them the good news, Chen said. They thought it was, they thought it was a wonder I could do something like painting. Chen, whose favorite painters include, of course, America's beloved Bob Ross, has completed a whopping 500 paintings to date. During the month of May, which is National Stroke Awareness Month, she is painting one for every day and posting a picture of it on her professional artist/advocacy Facebook page, Stroke of Hope, to help raise awareness. Actually, at the beginning, I just put the colors on the canvas, and then the more and more I did it, I read about how to paint and I read how to color. It's a lot of research for me to do, but I consider it an occupation at this point. I've gained a lot of knowledge, so besides the hand painting, the brain keeps thinking. That's good for stroke victims, to not let the brain rest. Keep thinking, keep searching for the knowledge. A Stroke of Hope is an influence of Bob Ross, and it's there to see in a professional video her family made her telling the story while she uses the old fan brush, as the gentleman himself used to say, effortlessly while painting evergreen trees covered in the snow. We're going to put a happy little tree right here. Yeah, it's right. There's a happy tree.
Happy little cloud.
Happy little cloud there. I like it. The first post she made was on Facebook, was an image of Cabo San Lucas, where she described as top on her travel list. I've never seen her paint, said Chen's daughter, Liana. Growing up, she was always busy working. I never saw her have a minute to do any of her hobbies. And now after the stroke, it's nice to see her doing something she loves. It's like a job for her. She'll sit early in the morning, 5 days a week. The dedication is that real and that strong that she'll sit in the morning, take a lunch break, rest a little bit, and then go back into it. So Stroke Awareness Oregon has contacted the family to see if it were possible to include in an auction some of her paintings to raise money for awareness and rapid response programs for stroke victims in the state. It's a good cause, which is what Mom's dream really is with the Stroke of Hope. Really putting the word out there that it's not over once you have a stroke. So, looking at this, and I can share it to the Facebook page if you are interested in looking at these. They're quite good paintings. They're not like this blotchy. I'm going to call it Picasso art. You know what I mean? It's nothing like that. It's very detailed, very pretty. I'll share it up on the Facebook page if you'd like to take a look at it. But I think it's really cool. You not down and out. You took something that was really crappy that was dealt to you, and instead of letting it beat you, put you in a state of depression, it's like, okay, well, this is where we're at. This is all I can do. This is my strong arm, but I'll learn to do something. And it turns out she found not only a passion that she can now put her efforts in, but she found something that she loves to do. So that's awesome that came from something so tragic.
Yeah, I'd certainly say that qualifies as
good news, everyone.
And I certainly feel for her. It's I've mentioned it here on the show before. I got hit with Ramsay Hunt syndrome, where the right side of my face was paralyzed for about a year and a half. I mean, no movement whatsoever. It's about 90% back, but yeah, you'll see things are a little slow to get moving. But, if my entire right side was paralyzed, I don't know what I'd do. It would be easy to fall into a depression, to, just sort of give up. But luckily she found purpose and, made something of it. So
exactly
why we do this segment. We love these inspiring stories. And if you guys come across a story that you want to share with us, that you want us to read on this segment, feel free to send it over to us. And with that being said, we are going to head into our commercial break. But when we come back, we're revisiting an old favorite, Strange But True. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke. When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show, and we are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, you can also stream us on your smart TV or mobile device or watch us on demand just by downloading the ngbn.tv app. Just go to the Fenix Media channel there. You can find this show and all the other great Fenix Media shows on there as well. Now, if you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony Spark. That's SPARK 81, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81 as well. In this segment, we're revisiting an old favorite, something that, people loved. I loved the first time. And, it's a little bit of history, but at the same time, just so weird to learn these facts with a segment I call Strange.
I like that soundbite.
I love that soundbite too.
But now all I have in my head is Sand Patrol.
Well, let's start off with our first one. I wish there was more information to it, but basically says that the way the world is today and an immense portion of its problems can be traced back to one 19-year-old kid shooting an archduke in 1914. And again, I want more information. I want to find out, what that sort of butterfly effect to where those problems are today, how those stem from the shooting in 1914. But you know what? If you want to learn more, there's a wonderful tool called Google, and you can dive down.
Google.
Let's move on with Strange. This one blew my mind. Jack Daniel, yes, that Jack Daniel, died from an infected stub toe caused by him kicking a safe containing money to which he had forgotten the combination.
Really?
Apparently, yeah. So the guy behind Jack Daniel whiskey died from a toe infection because he couldn't remember the combination to his safe.
All right, so use this as an example. Like if you're getting pissy about something, maybe don't kick heavy objects and don't punch walls. Maybe just don't do that. I don't know. You can get angry, but
talking to a couple of our friends in particular.
No, as I said that, I thought about it, and no, that was not aimed at him. So,
okay.
Hi, Tim.
Yeah,
was aimed at you, bud.
Adam did it too. So
that's right, he did. Huh? He punched something and injured his wrist, right?
He did.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Let's move on with
Strange.
Oh, this one's mind-blowing too. The second person to go down Niagara Falls in a barrel and lived, later perished by slipping on an orange peel. So you stick yourself in a barrel, you plummet down Niagara Falls, you live, you walk away and swip, right on an orange peel, dead.
Was that right after he went down the barrel?
No, it was later on.
Okay.
I was
going to say, what a shitty day. It's like, hooray, I survived. Oops, I had died.
It's almost like the universe was making up for the fact that he didn't die in the barrel in Niagara Falls. It's like a Final Destination.
I was just going to say, that's some real Final Destination shit. That was the line I was about to say. So.
Oh, this one. Oh, hang on. It is part of our
Strange.
Wow. Okay. Buckle in. So everything Olga the Kiev did after her husband was killed by an opposing tribe. The opposing tribe killed him by tying his legs to a tree they had bent down and then released the tree. They kind of catapulted him. That's an awesome way to kill somebody, but don't kill anybody. In any case, they buried 20 men alive, burning another 20 alive after she lured them into a bathhouse. She slaughtered 5,000 of the opposing tribe soldiers after she'd gotten them pissed drunk, telling the opposing tribe she'd end the assaults if each house gave her 3 pigeons and 3 sparrows. She then had her soldiers tie sulfur to each of the birds and set them free so that they would return home to their nest in their original villages. Eventually, the villagers' bedtime fires would ignite the sulfur and burn the town to the ground. Here's the kicker. Olga of Kiev is a saint in the Orthodox and Roman Catholic Church. How?
Yeah, I'm going to say not a saint.
No. What is her miracle? Deathly vengeance?
Yeah. I'm a saint. I'm going to kill them all. But that's just my alter ego. You know, this is my nice side. But when you piss me off, you're on my bad side. I can't be judged for that. I'm still a saint.
Oh, let's keep moving on. Moving on with
Strange.
You know, we hear a lot about the different attempts on Hitler's life back during World War II. Obviously, probably the most famous one was Valkyrie, portrayed in the movie starring Tom Cruise. Well, apparently, there was a real plan to spike Hitler's food with estrogen, trying to turn him into a woman and make him give up on the war. Wow. They attempted everything to try and get rid of that guy.
Yeah, you sound like a really nice guy. I mean, you sound like somebody you wanted to bring over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ultimately, he was just a frustrated, failed painter.
Oh, my gosh.
What a pity.
Such atrocities. Well, let's keep rolling on, talking
Strange.
Again, here is one where I need more information to the story. It says people used to think women's uteruses would go flying if they rode a train. Really? What's the science behind that?
There doesn't sound like there's any science behind that.
No. But, at some point, trains were new technology and, people were wary. And so, they would throw out conspiracy theories like women's uteruses would go flying or, 5G is mind control. It's all in the same boat.
It is now with mind control. I mean, now with 5G.
Let's keep rolling on talking
Strange.
So apparently, President Andrew Jackson had a pet parrot. Jackson was also a very vulgar man, and his parrot learned a lot of curse words from him. At Jackson's funeral, they had to remove the parrot from the funeral because it wouldn't stop cursing. Oh, I wish there was video cameras back then. That would have been awesome to see.
Quack, quack, shit, quack.
I love the reinterpretation tone.
There you go. That's all I can really say. I can't really say too many more curse words.
Exactly. We're trying to keep things as PG-13 as possible. Let's keep rolling on talking
Strange.
A Greek philosopher called Chrysippus died from laughing too much at a drunken donkey eating rotten therefore fermenting figs. Wow.
Out of what?
So he died from laughing, watching a drunken donkey eating rotten figs.
All I got was Donkey. I thought of South Park. Donkey raping city. That's what when you read that, that's what I heard. So now I'm gonna laugh to death now. Could you imagine what a way to go out? Just
laughing hysterically. My guess is that he probably died of a heart attack and it was brought on from the onset of the laughing. But
yeah, it had to be, yeah. Laughing is good for the soul, but apparently not for that, not for him, unfortunately.
Exactly. Let's keep rolling on, talking
strange.
Again, I want more information. Apparently, Honduras and El Salvador had a 3-day war over a football game. Wow. Talk about being a fan of a team. Go to war, kill people. That's crazy.
Yeah. You will like my team. They were definitely the winners. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I can't believe that's true because that's just nuts.
Which is why we do this segment.
Like now it's like we can just admit sometimes your team's really good. Sometimes your team just sucks.
Yeah. Not worth killing the opposing team's fans over.
No. Oh, but that made me think this went viral, but there was a Padre fan that got really pissed with a Rockies fan a couple weeks ago. Did you see that viral video?
No.
Dude just walked up to the Rockies fan and just not cold cocked him. I'll send it to you on break. It was nuts.
People, stop it.
Yeah, it's like, dude, don't hit the guy. The Rockies suck. Exactly. They're really bad. So don't beat the fan up. He's still supporting them.
Yep. Let's keep moving on. Talking
strange.
A quote from Winston Churchill when he was visiting the White House and the president walked in on him butt naked. He said, "The Prime Minister of the UK has nothing to hide from the President of the US." Apparently not.
Yeah. I got nothing to hide. This is just my Willie and my Nelson right here. I don't mind it. Just eyes appear. I just want to have a conversation. Don't mind that. Just look into my eyes.
Oh, and let's round things out on this segment.
Strange.
Tony, I'm reading this one just for you. King George II was so constipated while he was taking a poop, his heart actually physically burst.
Oh, wow. Damn. Woo. That is definitely an impressive one, right? Oh, my heart.
And a shitty way to go.
I like what you did there.
That does it for this segment. When we come back, we're headed into the final segment of the show. And you know what that means. It's time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. We've made it to the final segment of this episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Deezer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
I almost blanked on the order there.
Yeah, you did. That's all right. I couldn't find a good soundbite today, so you get a mixture of some random "you're not my supervisor" and a Yoda laugh, and why not this? Wow.
Fair enough.
So we'll say they said yeah.
All right. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think. And tell your friends, because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring. Spread the love. Spread it all over.
And we care about you guys so much that we like to share this segment. We like to drop a little knowledge, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
All right. Kicking things off this day in 1499, Francisco de Bobadilla, appointed governor of the Indies, succeeding Christopher Columbus. I just laugh because a Bobadilla sounds like a Vietnamese Taco Bell treat.
It does. I thought when you said boba, I instantly think of Boba Fett. So, but looking at Bobadilla, it don't look like no Boba Fett, but it's funny. Come on down to Taco Bell and try our new Bobadilla wrap. It's gonna give you the shits. Bobadilla for a limited time for only 99 cents. Get it now. Shit your brains out. Bobadilla.
Worth checking out. Maybe something we would have covered in our old, what was the food segment that we used to do?
Put it in your mouth.
Put it in your mouth.
Yeah, so it would have been good at the end of that for. There you go.
I love it. Well, let's move on. This day in 1809, the Battle of Aspern-Essling, Austrian Archduke Charles beats Napoleon and his army. It's Napoleon's first defeat in 10 years. Of course, we all know how Napoleon drowned his sorrows. He headed over to Farrell's for that Piggly Wiggly ice cream trough.
Excellent!
Love the props, Tone. Love the props.
That's like the only accessible prop. I just got to move my fat ass off the chair and get it back in there.
I love the fact that as soon as you see Napoleon's picture up,
dude, I get excited. I'm like, oh, grab the guitar that you don't ever touch, man, and pretend to play it.
Moving on, this day in 1881, the American Red Cross is founded by Clara Barton. Again, they do amazing, amazing work, and it's always fun to see early, female pioneers doing things like this and really changing the world.
I don't mean to laugh and be a dick, but she looks like Skeletor.
She does, but
hello, He-Man. American Red Cross.
She didn't found the Red Cross beauty pageant by any means, but she still did good work.
It's Feel Good Friday, Good News Friday, Be a Dick Friday. Yeah.
Well, let's move on. This day in 1927, we mentioned it yesterday. He took off. Well, aviator Charles Lindbergh, in the spirit of St. Louis, lands in Paris after the first solo air crossing of the Atlantic. So, apparently he either did it. Well, we know as of yesterday, he left at 7:30 a.m., which means that trip took forever because he landed just today.
My thought, how back then would you gas up? Would the gas? Well, obviously he made it, so can't question how he did it. But you always wonder how much gallons of gas that the plane can hold, and what happens when you run low. How do you fill it up when you're in the air when you're trying to fly the plane? Because it was just him. Some mind-boggling stuff I can't put together. It was done though.
It was done, but we know what happens when that doesn't quite work out with our next one. Actually, a follow-up to another one we did yesterday, this day in 1932. After flying for 17 hours from Newfoundland, Amelia Earhart lands near Londonderry, Northern Ireland, becoming the first transatlantic solo flight by a woman. So we answered the question, was this the one she disappeared? No, it's not. But we do know she disappeared because of what you had just said, Tone.
Yeah. Yes, it's frightening. It's one of those things. Very impressive, especially going back to the 1930s and earlier than that. Just the fact that they could do that and just be brave enough to be like, you know what? I'm going to try to fly to Paris today. Today's the day. Then you make it, and then you're like, shit, I got to get home. Do we really want to make that trip back? Not really.
I'm taking a boat back.
Yeah.
Let's move on. This day in 1948, New York Yankee Joe DiMaggio hits for a cycle, which consists of a single, a double, a triple, and a home run. And the fact that this goofy bastard got Marilyn Monroe is beyond me.
This picture is not a good picture. I actually should put that on a dating profile. I play baseball. Oh my gosh.
What's funny is, and it's been
got a unibrow and just this wicked.
It's been happening a lot this baseball season. I realize that there is no more boring achievement than a no-hitter. Who wants to watch a baseball game where nobody gets a hit?
Yeah, it's great for the pitcher and the team because it's such a rare feat. But yeah, it's not a fun game. Especially for the team that's not hitting.
Exactly.
I'm really surprised that hasn't happened to the Colorado Rockies yet.
It's really a snooze fest achievement. Well, let's move on. This day in 1966. Muhammad Ali TKOs Henry Cooper in 6 for the heavyweight boxing title.
Down goes Cooper, still champion Muhammad Ali.
Moving on, this day in 1968, Paul McCartney and girlfriend Jane Asher attend an Andy Williams concert, which is kind of strange. Paul McCartney, a Beatle, this brand new thing called rock, and Andy Williams is sort of like a traditional crooner. You wouldn't think that those things would mix.
Hey, Jane, would you like to go on a date with me? I got tickets for Andy Williams. I want to go with my horrible British accent. I don't know how it progressed to be so effing bad. It used to be all right.
It's an impression of an impression at this point.
Yeah, it's pretty bad at this point.
Moving on, this day in 1969, Robert F. Kennedy's murderer Sirhan Sirhan is sentenced to death.
Fatality.
But later commuted to life imprisonment.
Oh, that's kind of a cool name, though. What's your name? Sirhan. What's your last name? Sirhan. So you just go by Sirhan? No, it's Sirhan Sirhan. I will kill you.
That's what your radio name should have been, Tony. Tony.
Tony. No, because then people would be like, Tony, done it again. I have to hear that crap. I'm all right.
Oh, let's move on. This day in 1980, Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, produced by George Lucas, opens in cinemas in the UK and North America.
That movie sucked.
I know.
So bad.
I wish I could unwatch it. It was so awful.
Yes. Yeah, it's so funny because back then it wasn't called Star Wars Episode 5. It was just called The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, well, now we just got to keep track of all of them.
Yeah, you're like, so the second one was actually the fifth one. And,
Well, let's move on. This day in 1981, reggae musician Bob Marley receives a Jamaican state funeral. Instead of burning a ship, I would assume that they burned something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Wink, wink.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And it took place at Burning Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's move on. This day in 1988. Boy, we're answering all sorts of questions from previous in the week. Fat by Weird Al Yankovic hits number 99. Yeah, so he played the Wax Museum in 83, and so released Fat in 88, so he would not have played that at the Wax Museum.
I just remember that music video. He was really fat in that video. I mean, obviously prosthetics, but...
Yep. This day in 1997, Blue Jays pitcher Roger Clemens beats the Yankees for his 200th win. I totally forgot he had played for the Blue Jays. You know, you remember him in Boston, you remember him in New York, but Toronto? Really?
Yeah, I remember he also played for, I could be wrong. I thought he played for the Rangers at one time too. I know he played for the Astros.
Yeah. I don't think he played for the Rangers, but
he was kind of a pitcher hoe. He got around.
And then finally, this day in 2015, Flavor Flav is arrested near Las Vegas on charges including speeding and driving under the influence.
Flavor Flav! Yeah, boy!
And let's run down some of today's holidays for today. Or we talk about the things that we like to celebrate. We've got a lot, so we're going to rattle these off pretty quickly. It is American Red Cross Founders Day. It is Endangered Species Day. It is I Need a Patch for That Day. Okay. It is International Tea Day. Ooh, Tony, you're ahead of the curve. It is NASCAR Day. It is National Bike to Work Day. It is National Defense Transportation Day, whatever that means. It is International Virtual Assistance Day. It is National Pizza Party Day. It is National Strawberries and Cream Day. National Memo Day. National Waiters and Waitresses Day. Rapture Party Day. Sister Maria Hummel Day. And O. Henry Punoff Day. Whew, a lot to rattle off.
A lot of days. It's also Go Avs Go Day. Avs tonight against the Blues. Nail it. Game 3.
Folks, that does it for Friday. Join us back here on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Peace.